Welcome to Tibera's Den. My name is Whitney, and welcome to today's build. If you haven't seen Monday's video where we created the Sims that are going into this build, definitely please go check that out. I'll leave it linked in the description below. But today is our build for our Mythical Elements series that we're doing. And in case you haven't seen Monday's video, I kind of got this idea in a roundabout way from Sim Sav because I love watching her Mythical Motherhood series. But I wanted to do something with the occult Sims, but not like a motherhood type of thing. I started off playing The Sims doing the 100 Baby Challenge. I did complete it and everything, but that was kind of a lot. So I kind of wanted to do something with occult Sims. Because I love, like I said, watching her series, but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And then I also like watching the cast challenges and people create element sims, and so I decided to do elements based on the occult sims. So today obviously we are in Sulani and we are doing our water elements, so they are mermaids. And I created a brother and a sister. I'm kind of adding a yin and yang component to this, and so one's kind of more dark and one's more light, a male and a female. And so we have Ocean and Rain that are going to be living here, and kind of their backstory is they are kind of living in between worlds. They're trying to save the ocean, and so I gave them the god and goddess trait. I have a custom content trait, and I gave each of them that one because in my mind they kind of represent the water element, and they're kind of the god and goddess of the mer people. And so they are living in Sulani trying to save the ocean. And so one of them, actually I think I ended up giving both of them the conservationist trait. And I actually did this build before I created them, which going forward I'm definitely going to create the Sims first just so I have a little bit a better handle on their personality and such, because Rain is very, very quirky. She wants to fit in and she's bright and bubbly, but she doesn't quite know how. I don't know if any of you have seen the Dora Explorer movie, but that's kind of how Rain is. She doesn't quite fit in, and she's just very quirky and unique. You know, she's lived in the ocean her whole life, and so trying to fit in and blend into the human world doesn't always work out for her. And then Ocean is my male sim, and he's kind of a little bit more dark, a little bit more aloof. He's fierce. He's not necessarily mean or evil or dangerous or anything, but he's very fierce, and he can be a little bit dangerous, which represents, I think the ocean. And so that was kind of what I was going for both of them. But like I said, I hadn't created them at this point, and so my build was really just anything that reminded me of water or mermaids, rain, or the ocean was kind of how I was going with my build. And so you can see I've mostly done the kitchen. Right now I'm just putting clutter stuff, and I've done some work on the bathrooms. So I really wanted like grays and blues in this build, and that way it kind of fit with what I was going for. And one of the main reasons I created this channel was to get better at builds. I'm not very good at them, and so the save file I've completely emptied it out, and I'm going to be filling it with my Sims and my builds, and that way I can practice and get better at it. And that was a big motivation for starting this channel, and that way I can get feedback and whatnot from the community and other people that love The Sims as much as I do. And not only that, I love watching other Simmers on YouTube. Just their love for the game and their ideas and their creativity and kind of what they come up with. I've learned a lot from them, and gotten, different ideas from them as well. And so like I said, the cult idea and doing something with the cult Sims came from Sim Sav. And then I don't know if you guys noticed at the beginning I had already placed like the outer part of the lot and the shell, and it's kind of hidden. There's a lot of rocks and such that I got from the show live edit objects cheat and the show hidden objects cheat. And I kind of got that idea from Claire, because a while back, it's been a while, but she did a stream where she was creating like this little hidden place for her mermaids. And I don't know, I didn't ever see that she did anything past creating the build. I don't think she ever went in and actually played with it. Maybe she did on her own time, I don't know, but I love watching her and just her joy for the game. Like I said, I have a lot. And I'll probably link some of my favorite simmers that are on YouTube down in the description. So let me know in the comments who some of your favorites are. I watch a lot of different ones, but I'm sure there's some out there that I probably haven't watched. So definitely let me know. Claire's definitely my favorite for sure. I love watching her, and even if she's not playing The Sims, I watch her anyway. So, but now what I like to do is just place objects down, and that way I can see them all together and kind of choose which one I want. And I know other people have this frustration too, but it's so hard to get a matching couch and sofa. And so I like to place them down and see what all matches, if I can get matching sofas and chairs. And so I'll place them down, and then that way I can kind of see where I want to go from there. And then just kind of adjusting and trying to get the spacing right, which I'm not good at all. And even in real life, like, I'm not good at decorating or making sure everything looks perfect or anything like that. And so a lot of my builds are going to not necessarily be perfect or beautiful or anything like that. But they're going to definitely have a lot of character, which honestly, that's my favorite part of The Sims, is building the characters and the builds based on those characters. I'm not big on different like create a sim challenges or build challenges. I kind of want that backstory, and I want it to have a function in my game. And honestly, I also not very good at Let's Plays either, which is, odd. I just like, where do I go with the Sims? But I like building the characters and not necessarily following them going forward from their backstory or anything that I create. I kind of get bored really easily. And I did that even as a kid, like playing Barbies. I would create like this character, but I didn't necessarily like do a whole storyline. Or like when I, stop playing and then go back to play, I wouldn't pick up a storyline. I would just kind of create a new character and the backstory for that character. And then I do the same thing in The Sims. I do have a Let's Play that I've played for a while, and that one I actually downloaded a bunch of builds and fictional characters from the gallery and placed them all around, and then I created my pets in that Let's Play. And I actually played my youngest dog, as I made her as a teenager, so I thought it'd be fun to play her from a teenager and growing up. And so I created her and played her, and my other pets were, within the world. And then I had all these fictional characters, like my favorite ones from Disney or different books or movies that I absolutely loved. And I put down some actors and actresses and singers that I grew up watching. And so I placed them all in the world. And like I said, most of them were downloaded from the gallery. I didn't actually build or create anything unless I couldn't find it, other than my own pets. And so it was fun, being in that world, and I'd be, going out to a community lot, and there'd be all these characters that I absolutely loved, and my sim would get to interact with them. And that's probably the longest Let's Play I've done. And my sim was a teenager and is now an elder, and I have her lifespan on long. I have the seasons and the lifespans on long. I think the other way is a little too short, which is funny because I get bored, but I don't like it, the short lifespans or anything like that. And so she's been the one I played the longest, but she's an elder now, and the story kind of took a turn on me, so I haven't played it in a little bit. And plus I wanted to get started with this channel and getting better at builds and creating Sims. And so that's going to be the bulk of this channel. I might go ahead and do Let's Plays later on, but for the most part, it's going to be building and creating Sims, and my builds and the Sims I create are all going to go together. And so, like, after I finish the Mythical Elements series, I'm going to be doing a cash challenge creating Sims based on the seasons, and then I'll create builds for them as well. And then I'm also going to be doing the Rainbow Cash Challenge because that's one of my favorites to watch and see what people create. And I've never tried it, so I'm going to be doing that as well. And then after that, I'm probably going to do like different stereotypes, you know, like the girl next door or, you know, the golden boy, things like that. And so I'm going to kind of be doing different stereotypes. But of course, if you guys have any ideas or anything you think I should try, definitely please let me know in the comments below, because I'm definitely looking for ideas. But I really want to be character based. I love watching the challenges and other people do the challenges, but to me, if I did those challenges, it wouldn't necessarily add anything to my game, because I would just kind of do it and leave it. Where this way, I'm building the characters and the challenge, or you know, the characters and the builds based on those characters. So even if I don't continue to play them after, they're still in my world, and I'm still going to be able to kind of interact with them once I do start doing Let's Plays in this save. And so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But you can see, you know, I'm just placing things that are functional in a house, but still remind me of that water element. And so a lot of the colors and whatnot, even like here, the bars, the top's black, but it's gray underneath. And so that's kind of my overall goal here. And I was trying to play around, see what I could place for like water sports or something. Even though they're mermaids, I thought they might have like a little jet ski or something if they didn't want to change into their mermaid form. And so with them, I don't think like, you know, a lot of mermaids, the moment they get wet, they turn into mermaids. I don't think so with them, but when they fully get into the water, they would definitely change, which is part of the game anyway. You really can't control that. So, but I figured they might like to ride around on a jet ski or something like that to kind of blend in a little bit better. And so now I'm working on Rain's room. With her, I really wish I had created her before I did her room, because I would have made it fit her personality a little bit more. Like I said, she's very quirky. If you saw some of her outfits and such from Monday's video, you'll definitely know that. So I don't think her room really reflects that. So I would definitely, like I said, going forward, I'm going to create the Sims first. That way I have a better handle on their personality. But I still like the way her room turned out anyway. You know, kind of tranquil, and which I was trying to go for like what Rain makes me think of, which just tranquility and peaceful. And so that's kind of what I was going for. And her room's more gray toned, where Ocean's room's a little bit more blue toned, just because Rain to me is more like clouds, and it's not like a startling blue color, even though you'll see her hair is very blue, but it made me think of mermaids, so that's why I went with her hair the way I did. But yeah, I'm just trying to put down anything that kind of makes me think rain and clouds and tranquility. And of course I put the fish in there because I like the fish and her little rain cloud lights. Those are one of my favorite lights. But you know, you don't really have opportunity to use them very much unless you're like doing the kids' room or something like this. And so I put those, and then his lights are that looks like water splashing up to me, so that's why I went with those lights. And his color is very, you know, blue, kind of a teal, but I thought it really fit for him. And I also put fish in his room as well. And so now I'm just trying to find things to put on the wall and kind of decorate his room a little bit. And I like those paintings. I end up doing this one, which is lighter, and I actually end up removing that just because, like I said, he's a little bit more dark and fierce, and I don't think that painting really fit for him, where the darker two definitely do. So I actually end up removing that, and you'll see I put a fish poster above the bed. I end up moving the fish poster over there because when I put the windows down, it ended up clipping. Which actually the windows I put down, I left it, but then I go back after I finished recording and I ended up doing some landscaping and just tweaking here or there some of the things I didn't like, and I changed the windows and it ended up clipping, so I had to move it. And like I said, I decided that lighter picture just didn't really fit anyway, and so I ended up taking it down. But I like his colors in his room. I think it turned out really pretty. But I think out of the two rooms, I definitely prefer hers for sure. And so now I'm just trying to find some clutter stuff to put on his little thing. And those little table there, and then his nightstands as well. But I like that fish poster. I think it's cute. I think that one was from Brindleton Bay. I had the show live edit object cheat and the show hidden object cheat on, and so I got a lot of cute stuff from the different worlds. And yeah, here I'm putting down the windows. Like I said, I go back in. I didn't really like those windows, but now watching this back, I ended up changing after this recording, but watching it back, I actually think I like these windows better. So I'll probably go back in and change it again. And I ended up going, like I said, I did some landscaping. I put a ship right there in that little cubby hole in the front there. The ship from Get Famous that they can go act on. I end up putting that in that little cubby hole. I thought it was cute. And then here I'm just moving the fish because they didn't really fit the windows on the other side. And I didn't figure you would have fish in front of the windows. That didn't make sense to me. So I ended up swapping that around. But yeah, I went back and did some tweaking, and the little counters that are in the hallway, I ended up changing those. I changed the color to make it match a little better with the kitchen, and I ended up kind of spreading them out and putting that planter that's right there. I put that in between as well, so there was a little bit more plants because I figured Rain would really like the plants and such to be around, and so like I said, I just kind of ended up changing and did a few tweaks after I finished recording. But that is it for the video. I'll go ahead and leave you for the walkthrough. Sorry it's not the smoothest. I played around with this camera before I did this, but I still had a lot of trouble. I think it's just something I'm going to have to get used to. And I did, like I said, a lot of these are kind of clipping on the windows too, which isn't how it should be, and I did go back in and fix all that. I just don't have it on the recording, obviously. At this point I was kind of tired, and so I was just kind of done, but I did go back in on a separate day and fix everything. But I'm going to go ahead and leave you here to enjoy the walkthrough, and please definitely hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you do get notified when I upload. Mondays are going to be Create a Sim, and Fridays will be the builds that go with those Sims. And so this next Monday is going to be my air element, so I'm going to be doing aliens, so please join me for that. And we will see you then. Have a great weekend. Bye.